Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to another episode of Returning Home with Lin Liem. And in today's episode, we're going to be diving deep into the topic, the benefits of the shadow side of spirituality, the dark side of spirituality. And I know that most of the people within spirituality, we only talk about love and light and positivity. But throughout the years, I've come to understand that spirituality is both the light and the darkness. And a lot of people don't like talking about the darkness, but I do believe that it is so crucial in order to understand what this is all about, how we can use it to our benefit, and how and what the purpose is of this darkness. So without further ado, let's hop right in today's episode. So before we're going to dive into this episode, I'd like to talk about how we have a shadow side individually and also on a collective level. And when we talk about spiritual awakening, within a certain phase of your spiritual awakening, you're going to wake up to either one of those two or both at the same time. And you're going to find some things that might be very upsetting to you. It can be the things that you find within yourself. So often when we go through a spiritual awakening, we start seeing that there are parts of ourselves that need to be healed in order to free ourselves from those heavy energies, from those heavy vibrations, so that we can step into our purpose, we can step into our dharma, or step into that path that is laid out for us, the highest possible timeline. And often what we do is we heal those parts of ourselves, and then we start to utilize it in order to set us free. Now, on a collective level, there are also a lot of things going on, and I know that there are some people who have reacted on my channel to that they were expressing that they were finding it difficult to see that the darkness was as sacred as the light, or that the darkness wasn't a bad thing. And I want you to know that that is absolutely okay. I've been there as well, and I've experienced times in my life where I was awakening to all the things that were happening on our planet. You know, I'm talking about this suppressing from our shadow government. I'm talking about things that are happening with the children. I'm talking about ways of how to cover up the climate change and aliens and extraterrestrial life. And there is actually so much that we find out when we're starting to spiritually awaken of what is actually happening on our planet. And I'm saying the danger of this, I'm saying danger, but it's not actually the danger, because I think that it is such a necessary part when you're in your awakening that you wake up to these kind of things, to this other side of the world, to this other side of society, or, you know, how we're living and what we're being basically fed by governing powers. It is an essential part of your awakening, because you start to see that what you believe to be true wasn't the whole truth in itself, and that there was so much more. So you start to awaken to this whole new reality. So in that sense, it's serving its purpose. But then the danger within that is that when we wake up to those parts, we don't yet have the whole view of why all of this is happening, and why it's actually, in the grand scheme of things, a good thing. Now, you might be wondering, or you might be thinking, why would this be a good thing? Why would it be a good thing if we're all being lied to? Why would it be a good thing if all these terrible things are happening? I'm not saying that it is a positive thing. I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, the darkness is needed in order to help us to evolve. if it wasn't for your shadow side, you wouldn't be able to heal those wounds and rise into your light, rise into your highest potential, to step into your purpose. Often when you awaken to your purpose, you awaken to it because you've gone through a difficult period in your life. And often what I believe is that the more difficult situations that you're going through, probably the higher the calling or the bigger the purpose that you have. And so when we are awakening to all these terrible things that are happening, it is important that we understand that, first of all, in the grand scheme of things, the darkness is as sacred as the light. If the universe, if God, if the all that is, the force, the power of all that is, created all of this, then it means that that includes the darkness. And I want you to think about this, because when you look at your own life, you see that, hey, the painful parts in my life were the phases where I actually learned things about myself, where I maybe, had to heal and let go of certain things in my life, and therefore I'm such a better person. That was the reason why I was able to transform my life, or that gave me the inspiration to help these people, or to start all these great things. And what I believe is that with this contrast, spiritual evolution is taking place. Now, the same goes for the dark forces. So if you look at, I always say that if you start to understand yourself, and there are so many layers to it, right? There are so many layers to it. If you just look inwards, you discover this whole new universe that is happening within you. People are asking, how to astral travel, and I've wondered how to do it, and I still do, because I'd love to. But an epiphany that I had is that we often think that we have to go somewhere out here, whereas it's actually going inwards, because as within, so without, as below, so above. So once that we start to see that the spiritual awakening that is happening on the planet is only happening because we have these dark forces. If it wasn't for the dark forces, I don't think we would be able to move through that spiritual awakening, because we need that duality in order to transcend. So the planet is raising her frequencies. The planet is awakening. Mother Gaia is awakening. We are raising our frequencies because of that, because if we want to move with this new earth, we have to. We have to transcend. We have to activate our energies, activate our DNA, right? And this is what's happening within a spiritual awakening. It's a vibrational shift in frequency. So this vibrational shift in frequency on the planet is also being caused because we have the darkness that supports that. Because of this darkness, if you look at 2020, a lot of people woke up. A lot of people woke up within 2020. Why? Because there was contrast, because there was challenge. And so if you look at this grand design, it is genius, right? When we look at all the things that are, we think that are wrong with the world, it actually has a purpose. And I wanted to create this video because I know that when you're in that phase of spirituality, of that awakening phase, people don't often talk about this. Often what we see happening is that people talk about all the things that are wrong with the world, right? And sometimes if we're not offered that grander perspective, then we get stuck in the conspiracies. We get stuck in everything that is wrong with the world. And when we get stuck there, we start feeding into it. Why? Is because we're giving it more attention that it's supposed to get. Eckhart Tolle always geniusly says, whatever you resist persists. So whenever you feel anger coming up because of all these things that are, wrong with the world, and all these things, all these lies, and all these, this suppression on the planet, if you start fighting against it, you actually start feeding into it, which gives them, or it, more power. So I'd like for you to actually zoom out from where you are right now. Zoom out from your room. Zoom out from your house. Zoom out into the cosmos and see the grand design of all of it. Nothing within our reality, nothing on our planet is a coincidence. Everything is put in place, even technology, because it's part of a bigger plan. And so when we zoom out from all this turmoil and this terrorism and all the things that are wrong and all the things that, we're victim of, when we zoom out, we actually see, oh wait, it is assisting us into the Great Awakening. It's assisting us into our own evolution. And I believe if we can start to love unconditionally, like the universe does, it also means that we start loving unconditionally these forces. And that is a challenge, I know, because it's hard to love something that is so cruel. But I believe that is the unconditional love that God, the universe, the 0-point field source has for us. There is no judgment. There is only love. Let me know in the comments if there was any aha moments. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Like this video and share this video with anyone who you think could benefit from this message right now. Of course, only if you enjoyed this video, and if you did and you're tuning in from Apple Podcast or Spotify, it would really, really help me and the people who need it right now if you would give this episode a 5-star review. And check out my new merchandise. You can find it in the link in the description below. It has all beautiful quotes of light workers and positivity in the theme of positivity. And I do believe that if we start spreading these messages with the world, we're helping the planet to ascend within this great awakening that we're moving through right now. And you'll also support me in putting out more content like this and making this sustainable for me. So thank you so much for your support. Of course, if you're new here and haven't already subscribed to the channel, remember to do so, as you will be the first to watch all of my videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so that you can create your best life. I think this was really it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep shining, keep growing, and keep being your beautiful self. Bye for now.